The Perks of Being a Wallflower, also known as We Are Infinite, is an epistolary novel by Stephen Chbosky that was published in 1999 by Pocket Books. The author, born in Pittsburgh in 1970, is also editor and screenwriter, as well as director of the film adaptation based on his first and most famous novel. The latter was considered a cult in the United States and became a bestseller. There are 21 editions of the book, which has sold over 1 million copies, has been translated into 7 languages, and has been published in Europe, South America, and Asia. It's 1991. Charlie is not an ordinary teenager. He's shy, emotional, introverted, and insecure. But he is a very intelligent guy, and we can say that he observes the world by staying on the sidelines. His best friend's death by suicide, and a few years before that of his dear aunt Ellen, marked him and continue to torment him. The first year of high school awaits him. He meets some young people of last year and binds to them from the beginning. Sam and Patrick welcome him in their company of friends, and that's how Charlie gets closer to his first times. The first love, the first kiss, the first parties, and the first booze. In the meantime, his English teacher captures a talent in him, brings him closer to the world of literature by assigning him books and essays, thus giving rise in him the desire to become a true writer. But when the time comes for his friends to leave high school to go to college, Charlie's already precarious balance begins to crumble until it reveals a shocking truth. In summary, it's the story of what it means to grow up and to go to high school. Charlie's letters are more intimate than a diary. They are singular and unique, fun and devastating. Chbosky himself directed the adaptation of his own novel, telling in an extremely sensitive way a deep story about the problems of adolescence. Shooting took place from May to June of 2011. The film stars Logan Lerman as Charlie, Emma Watson as Sam, and Ezra Miller as Patrick are actors who have contributed significantly to the success of the adaptation. In the story is always told from Charlie's point of view, but the writer has adopted a slight shift in the protagonist's point of view, considering it necessary to tell the story more effectively. Despite the many similarities with the book, there are still some differences in the film. First of all, Sam's description. In the book, she is defined as a beautiful girl with green eyes, while in the film we have compliment from Charlie for her brown eyes, those of Emma Watson, of course. The second difference is the absence of the scene in which Charlie accompanies her sister in the abortion clinic. While in the book this passage of momentary crisis is addressed and described in a touching and delicate way, in the film the scene was omitted. Also, Charlie doesn't mention in his letters that he is being tormented by a bunch of bullies. It's one of the first scenes in high school. Or that he is taking pills, probably antidepressants, and many of the hallucinations Charlie describes in the book have been cut off. The names of some family members are not specified in the novel, but in the movie, Charlie gives a name to his sister, his brother, and his sister's boyfriend, while that of the professor changes from Bill to Anderson. In the book, Charlie also knows how to drive and smoke. In the film, there are no mentions of this. The theme of sex is less present than in the book. Some situations have received a small space, keeping a slightly less dramatic tone to give the story a teenage edge, but still making it remain deep and introspective. There are many aspects that have been made secondary to the book, such as Charlie's relationship with the professor and his attempt to help him improve not only at school but in life in general, or Charlie's relationship with his father and family. For example, his great admiration for his older brother, his complex relationship with his sister, and his family background regarding Aunt Ellen. In the book, Chbosky deals with delicate and always topical issues. Among the most important are friendship, love, sex, drug and alcohol use, homosexuality, bullying, adolescence, and the discovery of sexuality, abortion, and finally child abuse. The novel offers many important points of discussion on important issues that often concern teenagers in the first person. The characters are defined as broken dolls, real young adults. In fact, they have known abuse, violence, and homophobia too early. They are young people who, in the impossibility of accepting their imperfection, fight silently against their demons, and often cannot find the best solution to real problems. The deep meaning of the novel is contained in a line pronounced by Patrick in the middle of the story. We accept the love we believe we deserve. A seemingly simple phrase that, if dissected and analyzed in the right way, reveals a real universe of emotions and feelings. The whole novel can be interpreted as a process of the characters toward happiness and self-acceptance, in which there are obstacles and incidents on the way, but it is precisely these that allow the protagonists to mature, to grow, and to face the real world. Friends like Charlie because he is not afraid to cry, to show his emotions and his weaknesses. What he is afraid of is just growing up, like any teenager. He is afraid of not being able to cry anymore when he becomes an adult. He is in fact endowed with a particular sensitivity, thanks to he is able to understand and get in touch with all the people around him. Through letters we enter his world. We can perceive his vision of things, feelings, emotions, discomforts and joys of an age certainly problematic but also infinite. Because after all, we like and never stop being teenagers inside. The style used by Chbosky is simple but always effective for the purpose of the story and the themes. Toward the middle of the book, however, the narrative suddenly becomes heavier, the language more discerning, and you are catapulted into a disturbing part of the story of Charlie. He has been keeping a terrible secret since he was a child, which will prove to be the basis of all his problems. A huge secret, which is unconsciously removed because it was too painful and unlikely to conceive. Something he will have to face in order to return to living a normal life. Perks of Being a Wallflower is a masterpiece of the training novel, like the young author. The search for oneself through the necessities of life, the feeling of misunderstanding. Charlie is the embodiment of these feelings. Loneliness, lack of emotional stability, insecurity, sense of inadequacy, aspects common to all teenagers who every day face problems that seem huge. I really believe that reading this novel can really help those who find themselves living this very delicate period of life to feel less alone and giving them back hope and confidence for the future.